Help me reach 7,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. She came home late again and tossed her purse on the counter like the house bored her. No kiss. No how was your day. Just a quick, I'm wiped. And she drifted past me toward the hallway like a guest who'd stayed too long. Lauren, I called after her. Hold up. She froze at the bedroom door. Can it be tomorrow? I'm dead. Tomorrow keeps showing up empty. She looked over her shoulder. Don't start, Mark. Busy quarter. I told you. I watched her disappear. The shower turned on. That was the hook. Not the lateness, the choreography. Shoes left by the vent like she'd mapped the escape. Phone clutched face down. Shower right away. If I'd known where that pattern was headed, I would have changed my route a month earlier. I set 2 glasses on the island and waited, because I don't do speeches through doors. When she came out, hair twisted in a towel, robe tight, I tapped the counter. We got cold, I told her. Us. It didn't sneak up. It took the front door and never took off its shoes. She rubbed moisturizer into her cheek like I was a podcast in the background. It's a phase. Every couple has them. Phases don't move in and stop paying rent. Cute. She slipped past to the bedroom. Let's not make a thing. I'm exhausted. You already made a thing. I'm just naming it. She didn't answer. The towel hit the hamper. A minute later, the lamp clicked off and she was asleep. I stood there longer than the ice in the glasses did, then dumped everything and turned off the kitchen lights. I still believed we could fix it. I also believed in tools. Belief without tools is religion, not marriage. The next morning, I set a new rule. Coffee at the table, no phones. She came down in workout clothes, ponytail tight, eyes on her screen. Phone down, I said. 10 minutes. Look at a human. She flicked her gaze up. Since when is this a rule? Since last night. Control looks weird on you. Respect looks better on both of us. She sighed, dropped the phone, drummed her nails. Okay, Sheriff. 10 minutes. Where were you, really? Gym. Then drinks with Kelly. What? Because the gym closes at 9 and you came home at 11:30. She blinked slow. We went to her place. Wine. Girl talk. Satisfied. Text me when you're rolling home. Simple courtesy. Mark, I'm not 12. No. 12-year-olds text their parents. She smirked, took a sip, stood. I said I'd try. Don't push. You just downgraded your own promise to try before you made it. It was a joke. Right? She left the cup half full and grabbed her keys. The door shut. Joke noted. At work, Ray leaned against the bay door and squinted at me. Ray runs the shop like a retired sergeant. Big hands. No patience for mess. You look like a guy who slept on answers, he said. I slept on a couch. That's a kind of answer. I need your lift at 5. Truck's squeaking. You need a conversation. You're doing the stalling thing. You stall with wrenches. I'm doing boundaries, I corrected. First coffee rule went, you know. I'm sure she loved that. She didn't have to love it. She had to hear it. Ray grunted approval and lit me up with a look. He's not sentimental. He respects people who do what they say. That night, she didn't come home till 10:20. No text. I'd cooked chicken salad. The chicken went in the fridge. She breezed in. Cheeks flushed like the night had been generous. I ate, she announced, dropping her bag. Don't be mad. I'm not mad. I'm done waiting on a question mark. I slid my plate into the sink. I ate at 7. Could have told me. I did. Last week. 7 is dinner. If you're not here, I don't move 7. She rolled her eyes. You're really leaning into this tough guy act. It's not an act. It's the schedule. I'm not hungry anyway. Good. Saves the argument. She looked around, then at me. You're being, I don't know, clear. She rubbed her temples. It is a phase. Work is insane. I'm trying. Then be where you say. When you say. And if plans change, I want a heads up. She wrapped the robe tighter. Fine. You win. Happy. I don't need to win. I need my wife present. She brushed past me. In bed, she turned away before I'd even shut the drawer. A week of that, and the temperature kept falling. Little jokes at my expense started showing up in public like coupons. At Kelly's birthday dinner, Lauren tilted her glass and fired at me across the table. Mark's in his domestic dictator era, she told the group. He made a no-phone rule at breakfast. Kelly laughed too loud. Her boyfriend, Eric, measured me like he was deciding if he should join. I kept my face flat. It's not a dictatorship, I answered calmly. It's two people agreeing to look at each other. Eric smirked. You guys need a vacation, separately. Lauren patted my shoulder. He'd bring a charter. I slid my hand away from hers. We're good, I told the table. We just don't outsource respect to group votes. That took the air out. Kelly looked into her drink. Lauren's smile thinned. On the way home, she went cold. Did you have to embarrass me? She asked. You did fine without me. It was a joke. Make different jokes. You're so rigid. And you're so absent. She stared out the window the rest of the way. When we got home, I moved my clothes to the guest room. She watched from the doorway like I'd walked onto the wrong stage. What are you doing? She asked. Sleeping where I don't get ignored. That's dramatic. It's simple. When you decide we're partners again, I'll hear it. This is a punishment. It's a boundary. You like boundaries when they're yours. She wanted to argue. I left her to it. New rule 2. Separate rooms until the pattern changes. I'm not a referee for someone else's energy. The next morning, a small olive branch appeared. Lauren was up early, coffee poured, omelet on a plate. She moved around the kitchen soft, like the house was a museum. I overreacted, she said, sliding the plate toward me. I hate fighting. We're not fighting, I told her. We're negotiating reality. I heard you. I'll text. I'll try to be home by 7. I want us back. I studied her face, her careful tone. Okay, I said. 1 week. Let's see it. She leaned in to kiss me. I turned my cheek. She paused, then let it land there like it didn't matter. Illusions are polite. They asked to be believed. I gave it 7 days. Day 1. She texted at 6:15, running late, home by 8. She walked in at 8:30 with traffic and a new scent that had nothing to do with our detergent. Day 3 was networking drinks. Day 5 she forgot to text and walked in laughing at something on her phone, then cleared it the second she saw me. You cleared that quick, I noted. It was spam. I must be on the wrong mailing lists. She put the phone face down. Are we really doing this? We're doing honesty. It's lonely in here. She shrugged, went down the hall. I watched her shoulders, the way she kept distance like it was a sport. On day 7, I made another adjustment. Money is clarity. I split our shared account into 2. Household essentials auto-paid from mine, extras on hers. I put a plain spreadsheet on the fridge with boxes checked. Mortgage, utilities, groceries. No conversations. Just facts. She spotted it after her shower. What is this? Chin up, ready for a scene. Clarity, I told her. Essentials are handled. Extras come from your account. If you're not here, you don't get to be expensive too. That's petty. That's adult. She huffed, then reached for her phone. Unbelievable. If you want access, show up. It's not complicated. She flung her towel into the basket like a flag. I can't do this right now. You haven't been doing this for a while. 2 days later, she tried warm again. Showed up at my job with coffees at noon, acting like we were in some new phase. I wanted to surprise you, she said, handing me a cup near the bay. Thought I'd be the cool wife for once. Ray looked between us. Scanned the moment. I'll grab those brake pads, he muttered, and vanished. I'm on lunch, I told her. We can sit for 10. So formal. So necessary. She perched on the bench. I'm sorry about last week. Work's been heavier than I said. I've been off. Off how? She picked at the cup's lid. Just off. Then sit here. Be on for 10. She tried to pull me with her smile. I sipped, waited. She filled the air with small stories about coworkers and a client who kept changing his mind. It was fluff, but I let it run. She dabbed my sleeve like she'd noticed dust. I miss us, she said, touching my arm. I miss you. Then be home, I said. Tonight. 7. I'll try. There's that word again. She kissed my cheek and left with a promise trailing behind like perfume. It evaporated by nightfall. At 9:15 I texted. You coming? The dots appeared, disappeared, returned. Don't wait up, came finally. I didn't. That's when my patience met my discipline. I hired someone. Not a buddy with a camera. A real investigator with a dull name and sharp habits. We met in a diner across town. He spread a legal pad, asked 3 questions, wrote 2 things, and put the pen away. She has a routine, he asked. She has a pattern, I corrected. That's different. Patterns are easier. I gave him the timetable, the names she dropped, the bars she mentioned, the gym membership location. He nodded like I'd handed him a map. He didn't promise drama. He promised answers. I went home that night calm, not hopeful. Next morning, I put another boundary on the board. Sundays are mine, I told Lauren at breakfast. Garage, gym, game at race. No last minute we have to. She blinked. We always do brunch with Kelly on Sundays. We used to. We're off that till further notice. She set the spoon down a little too hard. You can't cancel my life. I'm canceling my attendance. You're punishing me for being busy. I'm refusing to be a prop. She stared, then exhaled. Wow. Buy yourself flowers at brunch. Send me the bill. Oh wait, you can't. Charming. Efficient. She stormed out. 2 days later, she changed tactics. Excessive sweet. She met me at the door in a dress I hadn't seen in a year and wrapped her arms around my neck like we had just started dating. I made pasta, she whispered. From that blogger you hate. I don't hate him. I hate his recipes. She laughed and touched my chest like that fixed us. Dinner was good. Talk was easy. She poured me a second glass and wandered closer on the couch, thigh against mine, eyes soft. We could go to bed early, she offered. No. I answered and said it gently. We can go to bed honest. Those are different. She froze. You're really going to do this? I'm going to do truth. She pulled back slow like I'd shoved her. Maybe you like the distance. Maybe it makes you feel in control. I like respect. It's cheaper than control. She went cold in a snap. Then maybe you should find someone who worships you. Worship is for statues. I want a partner. She slept in the master. I closed the guest room door and slept well for the first time in weeks. Boundaries are sedatives. The investigator called 2 mornings later. We should meet, he said. I have what you asked for. He slid a thin manila folder across the diner table. Paper doesn't need to be heavy to hit hard. Times, places, photos. Her car at a townhouse on Hudson 3 nights running. A man opening the passenger door for her, like she was the only person in the world. Him again at a bar, her hand on his arm. A hotel receipt. An address. He slid one more piece. A printout with a woman's name. Same last name as the man, same address. I looked at the picture he'd clipped at the corner. A woman about Lauren's age on a community page, smiling with a kid on her hip. Normal. I didn't blink. She's married, he said. They see each other almost every day. Your wife parks 2 blocks over, goes in through the alley. She thinks she's clever. She's not clever, I told him. She's lazy. What do you want to do? Thank you. Send me everything digital. He nodded. Be careful. Careful is how I got here. That night, I came home steady. Lauren was in the kitchen scrolling recipes like we were still pretending. You home? I asked. Obviously. Good. We're going to make a plan. She looked up, wary. For what? For getting us out of this mess with dignity. You don't have to be dramatic. I'm going to bed. We'll talk in the morning. Mark. In the morning. I turned and left her to the hum of the fridge. In the guest room, I texted the woman from the printout, Erin. I wrote 5 lines. I'm Mark. We don't know each other. I have information about Tyler and my wife. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to tell the truth. If you're open to it, I'll meet you on your terms. She wrote back within an hour. I knew it. Come by tomorrow at 5. Address below. Please don't call. My son is napping. Ray caught me staring at my phone the next day near the lift. You're somewhere else, he said. I'm wherever honesty is. That a place. It is today at 5. He studied me. You're not reckless. Don't start. I'm doing it clean. I believe you. At 4:58, I parked on a quiet street lined with maples. Erin opened the door before I knocked twice. She wore a sweatshirt and no nonsense. You're Mark, she said. Yes. She didn't invite me with words, just moved aside. The house smelled like lemon cleaner. On the mantel, a picture of her, Tyler, and a boy with a baseball cap. She didn't offer small talk. What do you have? She asked. I set the folder on the coffee table. Times, places, photos, video clips. I'm sorry. She didn't touch it. Say it out loud. Your husband and my wife have been meeting almost every day. He hosts her at your place sometimes. She parks off Hudson. There's a hotel. It's systematic. Her face didn't crack. I thought so, she said evenly. He's been training late. And the receipts. I didn't come to gloat or to rage. I came to hand you truth and ask if you want to work with me on how we end it. In which part? The disrespect. She finally opened the folder. The first photo was enough. She nodded once, sharp. Thank you. I have one more thing. I added, sliding a printed address. Tonight, Lauren is home at 6. If you want to walk in with me and close the door behind them the way they closed it behind us, I'm ready. No yelling. Just truth on a table. She swallowed, then straightened. Yes. You're sure? I'm done being polite to lies. She glanced at the mantel, then back to me. What happens after this? I'll handle my side. But for tonight, I want to see him see me. We'll go to my place first, I said. Then yours. Her jaw set. Okay. We drove separate. On the way, Lauren texted. Pick up milk? I didn't answer. Aaron pulled in behind me and cut the engine. We walked in together. I could hear the TV from the living room. Lauren looked up, saw Aaron behind me, and the blood left her face. What is this? She demanded, voice already raised. Who is that? We kept walking. I sat on the couch. Aaron sat beside me. I put the photos on the coffee table like coasters. Meet Erin, I said calmly. She's Tyler's wife. Lauren didn't move. What are you talking about? Your routine, I told her, almost bored. Hudson Street. The alley. The hotel. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes Sunday, if you're feeling brave. I don't know what you think you. Erin snapped. You've been in my house, she cut in, voice tight. With my husband. While I was at my sister's with our kid. Does that ring a bell? Lauren looked at the photos. Her mouth opened and closed without words. She reached for something to knock over that wasn't there. This is insane, she tried. No, I answered. It's organized. That's the part that insulted me. Not the chaos, the schedule. She had no language for it. Then the defense kicked in. We've been off, Mark. You checked out. You made rules. You moved rooms. What did you think would happen? I thought you'd talk to me before you tunneled out of the house. Aaron jabbed a finger at the address in the photo. You used my sofa. You smiled at my son's pictures. Lauren swallowed hard. I don't owe you a. You owe me silence right now, Aaron said, steady again. And you owe yourself a look at what you are like when no one is grading you. Lauren's eyes snapped to mine. You brought a stranger into our home to humiliate me. No, I corrected. You brought a stranger into our marriage. I invited his wife into my living room to return the property. She started to talk. I lifted a palm and she froze. Here's how this goes, I said. You have 30 minutes to pack your essentials and leave. This house doesn't host double lives. After that, Aaron and I have another stop to make. Where? Hudson. Aaron answered for me, ice in her calm. I want to look him in the face when he runs out of spine. Lauren laughed once, a blunt sound. You two are unbelievable. You'll need a bag, I said. Upstairs. Clock's ticking. She stared a long second, then something pragmatic inside her took over. She turned, walked down the hall, and disappeared. Aaron didn't take her eyes off the hallway. Jaw set like a door. I checked the time. 28 minutes later, Lauren came back with a suitcase, hair back, eyes wide but dry. She stopped at the door. You're really doing this, she said. Actually, I told her, standing, I already did it. This part is logistics. She grabbed her keys and paused. You're throwing away a life. You're confusing life with comfort, I replied. They're not twins. She hesitated like she wanted to aim a final dart. None came. She left, the door shut hard, and the house exhaled. I turned to Aaron. You ready? I asked. Yes. We drove to Hudson with the quiet focus of people walking into a storm they'd trained for. Aaron parked 2 houses down. We went to her door. She punched the code, stepped in, and called out level and loud. Tyler? You home? He came out of the kitchen with a grin that died when he saw me. He froze halfway into a smile. Babe. Sit, Aaron told him. He didn't. What's going on? I set the spare folder on the table he'd eaten secrets at. Your schedule ran into ours. He glanced at the photos, then up at Aaron. This is work stuff, he stammered. It's not what it looks like. She laughed then, not loud, not unhinged, just one sharp sound that said reality had weight. You brought her into our house, she said. Around our kids' things. It wasn't like. It was exactly like that. I cut in. Don't throw paint on this and call it wallpaper. He pointed at me. You don't talk in my house. It's my house too. Aaron snapped, stepping forward. And I invited him. You don't get to rewrite the guest list the way you rewrote vows. Tyler's face went red. This is between us, he told Aaron. Everything that happens in a married person's house is between the people who live in it, I answered. That's what you forgot. He looked for a beam to stand under and found none. We can fix it, he told Erin, reaching for her shoulder. She took one step back. No, we can end it with a spine. He glared at me again. You think you're some hero? I think I'm done being polite to disrespect, I said. Same as her. He tried swagger. You think Lauren's going to roll over because you got mean? She won't survive without that house. That house survives without her, I said. And I survive very well. He looked at Erin and saw no softness. He yelled then, a string of excuses dressed as arguments, like noise could glue the moment back together. He ran out of air. Erin pointed at the hallway. You leave, she said crisp. Pack a bag. I'll text you about your things. Don't be here when I come back from dropping our son at practice tomorrow. If you are, I'll have my brother here and it won't be a conversation. He barked about rights, about time, about history. She didn't blink. He stormed down the hall and started slamming drawers like loudness counted. He left with a duffel and slammed that door too. The house didn't shudder. It just went quiet in a way that made sense. Erin sagged for 2 seconds, then straightened. Thank you, she said to me, like I'd handed her a tool, not a favor. You did it, I told her. I just brought the mirror. Her hands were steady. I thought I'd be shaking. Boundaries are tranquilizers. She glanced at the mantel again. Do you want a drink? I want air, I said, and a place where nobody lies. I hear there's a bar between those two things. She grabbed her keys. We went to a small place on Elm with bad lighting and good quiet. We sat at the end and ordered sodas. The bartender didn't care who we were. We talked like two people who were finally in the open. He used to be a decent man, she said. Then he learned shortcuts. She used to be a decent woman, I answered. Then she learned loopholes. Erin knuckled the condensation on her glass. How long were you waiting to do that? I wasn't waiting. I was preparing. People confuse those two. She studied me. You're very calm. I did my yelling months ago. It just didn't make sound. We laughed once, the kind you let out when you remember how to breathe. We swapped stories, how the small things piled up, what we missed the most, what we didn't. We didn't romanticize struggle. We noted it like mechanics. At some point, she looked at my hands on the table. You build things, she said, noticing the scars. I fix trucks. Figures. What do you do? Accounting. I count what people hide. Useful. Today it paid off. We left the bar lighter than we'd walked in. At my place, I opened the front door to a clean, silent living room. No perfume. No half-truths. You should crash at your sister's, I told Erin at the curb. Don't let him circle back and make noise. She nodded. I'm going there now. We stood there a second like teammates after a game that didn't have trophies. She stuck out her hand. I shook it. It felt like a contract sealed by facts alone. Text me, she said, if you want. Not about them. About trucks and lemon cleaner, I said. She smiled. Good night, Mark. The next morning, I packed Lauren's remaining things into 2 boxes and labeled them with a Sharpie. Bathroom, closet. I put them in the garage by the door. She came by around noon with Kelly trailing behind like witness protection. That was low. Kelly shot as they walked in. Lauren kept her chin high. I'm here for my things. I pointed at the boxes. Garage. Kelly looked like she wanted to spit. You blindsided her. No, I said. I turned on the lights. Lauren snapped. You could have handled it privately. You did it publicly, I replied. You just hoped the public wouldn't know. Kelly tried again. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake, I cut in. It was a schedule. Lauren scowled. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not. I'm efficient. She took the boxes without grace. At the door, she hesitated. You're really ending it like this. Correction, I said. I'm ending it exactly like this. She left, and I changed the locks that afternoon. Not because I was scared, because I was done. I canceled the streaming accounts and the couple's gym membership. Not to be petty, but to erase subscriptions to a life that didn't exist anymore. I called Ray and told him I'd be late Monday. I had an appointment with a notary. I sent Erin a text. You good? She replied, better than yesterday. A week rolled by. Quiet became a roommate I liked. I worked, I lifted, I ate with Ray and his wife on Friday, and didn't feel like the third wheel for the first time in months. Erin and I traded small messages. A picture of her son's game. He struck out twice, laughed anyway. A photo of a carburetor I rebuilt, looks like new. A complaint about numbers on a ledger. a comment about lemon cleaner being out of stock. We didn't talk about Lauren and Tyler. That chapter closed with an audible click. Lauren tried one more tactic, the oversweet apology tour. She knocked one evening with a pie from a place that usually worked on me. I opened the door halfway. "I owe you an apology," she started. "You owe me silence," I replied. "Can we talk?" We talked. Then you performed. Now we're doing peace. I miss us. You miss the house. That's not fair. It's accurate. She blinked and held the pie like a white flag. "Can I at least leave this?" "I'm not hungry." "Mark, I wish you well," I told her evenly. "Somewhere else." "We're done." She held my eyes for 3 seconds, looking for the old softness. It wasn't there. She left the pie on the porch rail. It sat long enough to be someone else's problem. I went back inside and put on the game. 2 months changed a lot. Papers got signed, keys got exchanged, bills got split. I sold the old couch because it knew too much and bought a sturdy one that didn't pretend to be anything. The guest room became my room for a while because it felt honest. On Saturdays, I took the truck out to the lake at dawn and didn't tell anyone where I was. Not to hide, just to enjoy being obvious to myself. Ray came by one Sunday with ribs and said nothing about the quiet house. We just ate and made fun of commentators. Erin and I kept talking like grown-ups. Friendly. Simple. One Friday, she texted, "Son's with his aunt. I'm at that bar on Elm. If you're around." I was. We sat in the same corner. She looked different. Not glamorous, not broken. Just lighter. "How's the new couch?" she asked. "It doesn't lie. Good quality." "How's the mantle?" "Photos got rearranged," she said. "There's a gap where there used to be a story," I told myself. "We all edit," I said. "Some people just use whiteout. You used a pen." She studied me. "Do you ever wonder why they risk it?" "They didn't risk," I said. "They assumed we'd carry the weight." We stopped. She smiled at that. We didn't rush anything. We finished our drinks and went home separately. The next week, we grabbed tacos and introduced our friends. Ray liked her because she didn't apologize for breathing. Her sister liked me because I showed up on time and didn't make promises about a future I hadn't earned. One Saturday, Erin and I drove past Hudson just to prove we were free. The blinds were open. A new car in the driveway. She didn't look. Neither did I. That's the weird thing about closure. It doesn't need your attention. It needs your decision. News about Lauren reached me sideways. A neighbor mentioned she moved into a small apartment across town. Kelly told someone who told someone that Lauren was finding herself, which usually means finding someone to carry the tab. I didn't chase updates. I only noted one, a text from Lauren months later, for words that said everything. "I'm not okay." I didn't reply. That wasn't cruelty. That was maintenance. As for me, I kept the house clean, the truck tuned, my words sharper than my sarcasm. Erin and I started seeing each other without the shadow of anything. Not a rescue, not a rebound. Two adults who respected what the other had done when it mattered. We sat at Little League games and heckled umpires softly. We painted her spare room a color that made sense. She taught me to like quiet holidays. I taught her how to change her own oil, not because she had to, but because knowing how felt like owning your life. People think the payoff is the scene, the reveal, the gasp, the door slam. They're wrong. The payoff is waking up in a house where you do not have to brace. Where the only surprise is someone trustworthy bringing pancakes because they wanted to. Where your phone pings and your stomach doesn't drop. Where your rules are so clear you barely need them. If you want the last line, here it is, the one I gave Lauren when she tried the apology tour and looked for my old softness. "This isn't punishment," I told her. "It's graduation. I'm done retaking the same class."